Hello, everyone. My name is Veda Patwardhan. I am a postdoctoral scholar at the University of Washington, and my study is titled Drought Shocks, Household Income, and Women's Decision Making Evidence from Malawi. So, the motivation for my study comes from the existing literature on droughts and adverse effects on women and girls in low and middle income countries. And I contribute to this literature by examining the effect of drought on women's control over income. There are multiple pathways through which drought may affect women's control over household income, and this includes income diversification by men, male outmigration, higher remittances received by the household, etc. So the research question I examine in this study is, to what extent do drought shocks affect women's control over household income, and do effects vary by income type? I use a combination of data sources. So starting with the Malawi Integrated Household Panel Survey, I used three waves between 2013 and 19. And I combine this with precipitation data from the World Climate Database. And I construct a drought shock measure, which I define as annual rainfall of less than -1 standard deviation below the historical average. Using household year fixed effects, I find that sole female control over farm income increases following a drought shock. And this is a substantial increase of 46%. I find that there's no change in the total income under sole female control. There's a negative sign on non-farm, although not statistically significant, and then no change in transfer. So it's only farm income under sole female control that increases following drought. And so to unpack this, I examine two mechanisms, male of farm labor and women's farm decision making. And I find that there are increases in both. So higher probability of men engaging in off-farm work following a drought, as well as an increase in the probability that women are sole farm plot managers in a household. So to discuss these findings, examining women's control over income in the context of climate variability is important. So in other words, examining what drives changes or increases, in this case, in women's control over income helps us to unpack whether control over income actually reflects empowerment. And if climate variability drives increases in women's control over farm income and farm decision making, we do need accompanying policies to improve women's well-being and productivity. So thank you for your attention, and I look forward to your comments and questions.